And then finally, there's one more game, and then we both agreed on this one, and it kind of snuck out because it was it was in the PAX Rising area as well. Beatdown City Survivors and PAX Rising. So was this. We were both trying to figure out what our fifth game was going to be, and we thought, this one really, again, we're old heads and we like the old style, but this is something that kind of flips it around, and it was Draco and the Seven Seas. I think is what it's called, right?
Draco for sure.
Draco for sure. I took a photograph of it. I'll let you know right now. Keep talking.
It's a Game Boy Color Link's Awakening like.
Yes.
And I mean that with all of the respect in the world. I'm not. There's no. That is killer.
Yeah.
That
Draco and it was Draco and the Seven.
Draco and the Seven Seas. Yeah. No.
Seven Scales. Sorry, Draco and the Seven Scales.
Scales. Wow. Okay.
Really bad. Anyway, Draco and the Seven Scales is the game that we gave our fifth Team Choice Award to, and this is a Game Boy looking game.
Yeah, it's Game Boy Color for sure. It's definitely Link's Awakening / Oracles. It's definitely
it is.
I really liked the boat stuff in it. That worked better than a lot of games have boats. And boat stuff is hard to pull off because most of the time it's just sort of like you pointing this sort of aimless thing in it. The boat controlled like a character, but like it had cannons, so you could like, fire off the starboard or port side. There was no straight shot. You had to like point your
angle
ship,
yourself,
and park your ship, and like one side was a normal cannonball and the other side was like a big boy cannonball, and like you can use it to like blast debris that was blocking a path, and then you make dock, and then you can return your adventure and stuff. And everything has like everything, it's pirate speak too, because it's a pirate game, so it's like, yar, found the key kind of thing, which is like, it's great. Like
there's a parrot that can join your team. There are there are moments in the game where it tries to break itself, right? Because you play it and it's just the typical green and white Game Boy style, right? Green and gray.
Green scale.
Yeah, green scale. But then there's moments where it's like, hey, you can only do certain things if you change the color of the level or change the color of your ship, and so you can do all kinds of stuff like activating different portions. So I'm playing the game, and you start to see these things, and you're like, wait a minute, this is more than just Game Boy. It starts off as Game Boy, but then by the end, you're like, oh crap, this is. There's some really interesting things they're doing with the idea.
Yeah, because it definitely took the idea of the color dungeons. From the Link's Awakening DX.
Yep.
Where it was like it's the same game, and most of the game is still in the green scale, but we've got a color dungeon, and you have to have the color to be able to do any of this, because if you can't see the color, you can't solve the puzzle. And so it takes that idea and just kind of ups it
totally.
And it's and it feels like a Game Boy game.
It
doesn't
really
feel like
does.
It's trying to break the constraints of a Game Boy game, which is like I said it with Double Dragon that I played earlier, and the He-Man and everything, where it's like you either have to make something brand new that or holds to the theming. Like if you're making a Genesis game, it has to be a Genesis game. You can't just make it it looks like a Genesis game, because then old heads like us that want to play those things start playing it and start playing it like a Genesis game, and it doesn't work because you've added mechanics that would be impossible in a Genesis game or whatever. It's like, no, there's no there's too many colors or whatever. We start to pick it apart because you're telling us you're making a 16-bit game, and it's not a 16-bit game. It's like when there used to be that trend where there was a lot of this is 8-bit art, and it was clearly 2600 art, where it was super blocky, no different.
This really stuck to the Game Boy idea, the controls, the feel, the amount of buttons.
It would run on a Game Boy.
It wouldn't, especially when you get the color stuff and start doing some of those. They were mode 7 style. So it wouldn't run, but it really stuck to this idea.
Emotionally, most of the time.
And there were these moments where you're the trailer they had. There were these giant bosses you would fight. They would take up more than half the screen, and you have to run from cannon to cannon to fire off cannons at these big, aquatic Kraken. I don't want to say Kraken, but big aquatic bosses. So it's cool. There's a lot of aspects to this that's built in. So it's taking that Zelda Game Boy formula and adding a lot of things that people, not that you couldn't do on maybe you can't, you obviously can't, but that they didn't think about doing in these games very, in the early years of the Game Boy, and it felt really good. It was a real nice aesthetic, real nice design. Characters are great. Like you said, the interactions were really fun.
I like me a good pirate game, and unfortunately, there's not a lot of good pirate games. It's like it definitely has the attitude of like a Monkey Island.
It did, yes, exactly. It's a good way to put it. Yeah,
that was its attitude. It may not be Monkey Island like, obviously, but like it's deriving its humor from pirate tropes, and it does a really good job at it.
Yeah, very cool. So Draco and the 7 Scales.
Yes.